What's good, YouTube? It's your boy 2K the God, my man Sus. Welcome to the Gods of Boxing Talk. Now for this segment, we're gonna go ahead and break down the fights that happened this past weekend. You know, a motherfucker like me, you know, who's married and shit. Sometimes, you know, other shit takes priority over boxing.
Nah, man, be real, man. Sometimes you get in trouble for doing shit. You know, you can't use the computer. You know, nah.
Hey, I gotta sleep with that woman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shit. So I missed 2 of the 3 fights this weekend. I talked her back, you know, into going back to the crib to catch the Browne fight, but we'll break that down in a different segment. But for this one, we're going to talk about Marcus Browne versus Thomas Williams Jr. I saw part of that fight before YouTube took it down from a different profile. And what I had seen, Marcus Browne did exactly what me and Sess told Andre Rozier, trainer for him and Daniel Jacobs. If you haven't checked up that interview, it's on the channel. You can go to it at a later date. But we told him what Marcus Browne needed to do to beat Thomas Williams Jr. Also, this was going to be a fight that lets us know whether or not Marcus Browne is somebody that we should be paying attention to at 175 pounds. Then you got Lamont Peterson. I absolutely missed all of that fight. Going in, I had expected him not to have any trouble with a David Avanesyan, because Avanesyan is a C+ level fighter with the only name on his resume was Shane Mosley, an old ass decrepit motherfucker has arthritis. Word up. Motherfucker hasn't been able to pull the trigger for about 5 years now. Shane Mosley. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't expect him to have any trouble. The only thing I did see was Lamont wearing them short ass fucking shorts.
Hey, the Bill Russell joint.
Bro.
Yeah.
Bro. Like if they were black. Now I don't wear short ass shorts, but if they were black, I'd have been like, yeah, that's kinda on some homo shit. But you know, it's black, it's cool. Bro, they were purple, fam.
Yeah. Them old school Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Russell back in the day basketball shorts. Like, man. I don't know what Lamont was thinking, but anyway.
Man, oh man. Oh man. Anyway, so he won that fight, of course. I think he's a WBA regular champion now, 147 pounds. Of course, Keith Thurman being the WBA super, and he's getting ready to defend that against Danny Garcia. Sess!
What up?
You caught the fight, fam. What happened, man? Start off with Marcus Browne and Thomas Williams.
All right. First off, man, it's always good to be back. Very good weekend for boxing. All the fights, I think, lived up to expectation. To start off, Marcus Browne versus Thomas Top Dog Williams. You know what? It's not really too much I can say about this fight, man. Like you mentioned earlier, we both, knew what the game plan was for a guy like Marcus Browne fighting somebody like Thomas Top Dog Williams. You know, Williams does. The one thing I will say about Williams is he does come to fight. Whenever he's in the ring, he does come to fight, whether it be a dog fight, a slugfest, a brawl, whatever, a boxing match. He's always going to at least bring the best out of his opponent. But in this particular situation, Marcus Browne just had too much firepower for him, man. You know, and Thomas Williams made a lot of just fundamental mistakes. I mean, you know, given it was 2 southpaws fighting each other, and sometimes that presents its own, dynamic. I think southpaws are a little bit more comfortable fighting right-handed guys, because they can take certain angles and things of that nature. But man, I mean, Thomas was literally walking into punches. He would have the high guard. He would kind of walk, do his thing. But when he would do his thing to the body, his left hand would be all the way down here, you know. Or he would shoot the right hand to the body, and he wouldn't get it back quick enough. And Marcus Browne would just take advantage of it. He would go into a high guard defense, and then he would just unleash just a lethal ass left hook. So I'm sorry, a lethal right hook.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the first knockdown, I don't think it was questionable, but what came after was a little bit questionable. A lot of people kind of gave Marcus Browne the side eye when he did drop Thomas Williams, but he hit him as he was on the ground, and he did catch him with a pretty good.
I did see that.
Yep. He did catch him with a pretty good shot behind the head, and you know those are some of the more deadlier punches because you know you hitting a guy in a pretty bad spot.
Yeah.
To Thomas Williams' credit, he did get back up and you know continue to fight, but and this is coming from him. He said, which I'm not at liberty to say whether it's true or not. He said that he never fully recovered from the shot to the back of the head. In my personal opinion, I'm not going to comment on that, but in my opinion, I just think, like I said earlier, there were just too many fundamental mistakes for him really to do anything. Yeah. You know, the one thing that I do like about Marcus Browne is he has a bit of a mean streak. And I think at 175, you're going to need that. You're up there with the Adonis Stevenson, which is the guy he called out after the fight. And for a lot of fans that or viewers that don't know, the Joe Smith Jr. fight is not happening. As of right now, the fight is not going to happen. Right. So Marcus Browne did call out Adonis Stevenson, which is a fight that I would like to see. But I don't know, man. I think Browne needs a little bit more work. There were a few. Okay, there were a couple things that I've seen in the fight that I think before he steps up to the Adonis Stevensons, the Sergey Kovalevs, and the Andre Wards, he definitely needs to work out a couple kinks in the armor. You know, be a little bit more sharper. Like I said, that mean streak is great. You know, because he's gonna have to be tough with them guys. You know, he's gonna have to try to be very physical with those guys. Yeah. You know, when he gets in there with them. But he is a nice looking 175. He's definitely got the height. He's got the body for it. He's a young guy. So right now it's looking like the sky's the limit for him. I just think he has to take those progressive steps to build his way up and not, you know, take a setback. Yeah. You know, but all in all, very good performance. You know, he got the knockout, which was great. I believe he finished Thomas Williams with well, like I said earlier, I want to say it was a right hook that pretty much put the nail in the coffin. And a very good showing, you know, for both guys. You know, Williams, he showed heart. You know, he got back up after being knocked down, I think a total of 3 times. Yeah. I think I saw 2 of them actually. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yep. And I believe you probably missed the last one, which I think was the right hook. But great fight, great performance by Marcus Browne. He did what he was supposed to do. Yeah.
I was never high on Thomas Williams, man, and one of the things that I told Andre Rozier was that Marcus Browne, this fight is going to come down to whether or not he's going to show his boxing ability. He's going to use his hand speed, his ability to judge distance, use his jab, use a little. I mean, he doesn't have great footwork, but he had good enough footwork to actually agitate a fighter like Thomas Williams Jr. Was he going to be able to do things like that, actually be a boxer puncher instead of just a slugger like he was in the fight prior to that against an undefeated European, right? Yep. So that fight was a split decision. A lot of people thought Marcus Browne lost it. So was he going to be that Marcus Browne? Right, or was he going to be the one that was smart and said, I'm not going to slug with Thomas Williams Jr. Look at his fights against Edwin Rodriguez and against Adonis Stevenson. Yeah. I don't need to do that. I have the hand speed and the footwork to beat this guy. And he did exactly that. So congratulations to him. About Thomas Williams Jr. though, man, like when I saw the Edwin Rodriguez fight and you know, he became I think he was, I don't know if he was the mandatory for the WBC title. I can't remember after that. But I just remember Adonis Stevenson saying he was going to fight him next. I was like, man, this is bullshit, man. Another bump that Adonis is getting ready to knock out. You know what I'm saying? And he went into that fight with some fire, but he ended up getting knocked out just like I said. I think he got knocked out in the very round. I said that he was going to get knocked out in. But I hear a lot of people saying, well, you know, Marcus Browne, man, he knocked him out. Oh, this guy is serious. While he is a good fighter, they also said this. He did better than Adonis Stevenson. I hate when motherfuckers do that. I hate when motherfuckers do that. because
Okay.
Thomas Williams Jr. was a completely different fighter mentally, coming off the Edwin Rodriguez second round knockout, going into the Adonis Stevenson fight, than he was leaving the Adonis Stevenson brutal knockout loss, going into the Marcus Browne fight. Two different mentalities, people. Mm-hmm. So you can't say that he did better than Adonis Stevenson.
Yep.
But yeah, man, big ups to him, man. I'm kind of interested to see, what he does in the future. There's a lot of killers at 175. I put him in there with Isaac Chilemba. Fuck it.
There you go.
If you really want to see a good fight between prospects, man, I'd put him in there with I can't never remember the dude's first name, but his last name is Gavadzik. Alexander Gavadzik.
Okay.
Put him in there with him. That's the dude that Isaac Chilemba last lost to.
Yep. That's a good fight.
Yeah, the Ward Kovalev undercard.
Yep.
Put him in there with that cat. You got two undefeated fighters, man. I think Gavadzik, what is he? This motherfucker 12-0 with 10 knockouts. That's a good fight.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's move on to the next one, man. Lamont Peterson versus David Avanesyan. Like I said, a fight. Me personally, I was like, Lamont gonna win this shit next. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the fight, man. I know you said earlier that there's really not too much to talk about in this fight. So just give me a little bit of what you saw and what you think he would do based on that performance at 147.
Okay, you know what, 2K? The best way to sum this fight up, and I think a lot of people will agree with this, you take the knockdowns out of this fight, and it's almost identical to Lamont Peterson versus Amir Khan. Lamont had a brutal, well, I don't want to say brutal. He had a very, very, very persistent body attack. Yeah. And that's one of the things that I think a lot of people need to understand about Lamont Peterson. Look, when he doesn't box, when he's not sticking and moving, the dude is a very good body puncher. He punches great to the body with both hands. He's not just a left hooker to the body or a right hooker to the body. The dude hits you on both sides and with very different shots. So he's got a good variation when he does go to the body. The only thing about that comparison, the David Avanesyan fight to the Amir Khan fight, is he didn't have to fight David Avanesyan this way. Yeah. He could have made the fight much, much, much easier had he just been Lamont Peterson, the guy that we all know, who's fast, who sticks, who moves, and who uses great lateral movement. The only reason why I'm not gonna be too harsh on him is because he was on a 16-month layoff.
Yes.
And so I don't want to be too harsh on him because I believe he can get back to form. The only thing about it, I don't know if he can get back to form fighting at 147 pounds.
Nope.
Right now, I can't see it happening. Reason being is, for one, Lamont is devoid of serious punching power. And when I say serious punching power, I'm comparing him to the guys that are at 147. You got the Errol Spencers, who's a very good puncher. You've got the Keith Thurmans. You've got the Danny Garcias. These guys are sleeping dudes. You've got a fullback in Sean Porter who, if I match him up with Lamont Peterson, Lamont's not going to be able to go into that high guard and, come at a guy like Sean Porter like that, who's short in stature, but he's extremely physical and he's very, very strong. Yeah. So I don't see Lamont getting back to form at 147 pounds. I think he can give it a good run if I match him up with maybe guys like Robert Guerrero, maybe. Because of where Guerrero is. There you go, exactly. Paulie Malignaggi, Robert Guerrero's, Aaron Martinez. He's going to have to take those slow, progressive steps if he wants to come into the 147-pound division and, really, really make some footprints for himself. Yeah. But all in all, I didn't have too much of a problem with the Avanesyan fight. Like I said, the only reason why is because of the 16-month layoff. And for whatever reason, and call me crazy, I just love watching Lamont Peterson's body work. I mean, the dude is just there, and he's digging. And another reason is because of my man, Barry Hunter. I can't never go against that dude, you know? Just the way that he gets into Lamont's head, man.
I went against that motherfucking Rasheed Warren's fight against ZZ.
Oh, yeah. No, now, hey, I am completely with you. I don't know what was going on in that fight. But the camaraderie and the relationship that he has with Lamont is just something special about it. You know, whenever I see those two guys working, I'm kind of looking and I'm going, man, okay, you know, that's similar to the relationship that, you know, a lot of the great fighters have with with their trainers.
Yeah.
You know, but I just don't know if 47 is where he needs to make his bones at, you know?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, man, especially on the idea that Lamont Peterson really doesn't have the power, man. He didn't have the power of 140.
There you go.
Going to 147 where guys are bigger, guys can take bigger punches up there. It's for me personally, man, and you know, and I've been saying this for a long time. Lamont Peterson is caught between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
Because 140 was getting too small for him. But 147 is too hard for him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
I don't think he beats any of the top guys.
No.
Even if Tim Bradley comes back, he loses to him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, hell yeah.
He loses to Pacquiao. Bro, I'm going to go so fucking far as to say, and recently Lucas Matisse announced going to 147. He loses a rematch to Matisse.
Yeah.
Y'all don't forget the arm punch, man. Matisse hit that motherfucker on his left forearm. Lamont Peterson went to the canvas. Go look at it, Sess. Lamont was backing up. He had his back up against the ropes. Matisse threw a straight right hand. Hit him right here, fam. Knocked him down.
I gotta see that.
That type of shit right there. I fuck with Bernard. Shout out to Bernard, aka Mr. Fuckery. I fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? Because Lamont, he loved Lamont Peterson. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with him about that all the time. He just be like, man, fuck you, man. But yeah, man, just judging by that type of shit, man, and just not even that, just his skill set. He's a good fighter, but at 147, man, which is quickly becoming the deepest division in boxing. At first, I thought it was 154, but with Jamal Charlo's departure, which we will be talking about in another segment, I think 147 is coming. You know, you got Lamont Peterson coming in, you got Lucas Matisse coming in, Terrence Crawford might be coming in. It is becoming easily the deepest division in boxing, and with all those killers there, man, I just don't see Lamont Peterson, a good fighter, not great, being able to be a world champion. Now, let me say this. Well, Manny Pacquiao just beat Jesse Vargas. I was gonna say Jesse Vargas would have been his best bet, but Manny Pacquiao had already seized the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So I think Lamont would have been able to beat a Jesse Vargas. He could have definitely beaten a fucking Saddam Ali. But I don't think he beats Manny Pacquiao, fam.
You know what, 2K?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm with you 100%.
Yeah.
I'm with you 100% on that. I want to, let me throw another name out there. Lamont Peterson versus Luis Collazo.
That's a good-ass fight. And, you know, that's a good fight. See, Louis, of course, he knocked out Sammy Vasquez recently.
Yeah.
But Louis, he looks good in fight A. Then fight B, he looks fucking terrible. Then fight C, he looks great. Then fight D, he looks fucking terrible. So we don't know what Louis Collazo we gonna get. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. He's a wild card.
He's a wild card, exactly. And he's a wily veteran, man. And that's why I said that he could possibly beat Sammy Vasquez before that. I thought that was a terrible fight for Sammy. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
I thought that was a terrible pick, fam. And we saw what we saw. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's a great fight. I think it's a good little a measuring stick for Lamont Peterson. I don't think David Avanesyan is a good measuring stick, but Louis Collazo would be. Can he take the shots at 147 that he couldn't take against Lucas Matisse at 140?
Oh, that's hey.
know, man. All right, we're going to wrap this segment up right here. YouTube, do what you do in the comment section. Will be real. Let us know what you think about these topics. This is Real Talk for Real Fans. 1.